Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
I'm going to show you my feet later.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders. Let's talk Penguins and Rangers. But let's not talk about Flyers, because they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny.
So I think instead of doing like an intro thing, we're just going to start fucking talking. And that's just right into it. And just no intros, no nothing. Just start fucking talking.
That works.
That works? Okay, good.
That works.
Was it episode 150? We didn't do anything special for 150?
Yeah, we're doing an hour and a half long episode. What are you talking about?
What, can we just get John Buccigross's lower half?
Well, who you mean what? His lower half or his upper half? His lower half is the no.
Which way did they
want to talk to his penis?
Wait, which way did they fade out in Back to the Future? Top to
Hands.
bottom?
Yeah, they were top to bottom.
So does that mean we would get his top? No, we would get the bottom half.
We would get the bottom.
And then for 200, we'd get the top half.
Wait, we gotta have him back on 200? Oh boy.
We got to. And that intro would be something like, well, John, we know you've heard the last 100 episodes.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. Okay. Episode 150. So I heard last week's episode, and I just want to tell you guys, I was thoroughly disgusted.
Why?
I can't believe how fucking terrible you two are.
How amazing!
Wait, hold on,
and
wait,
quick
wait,
it
hold on.
was.
That's our best.
Before I say anything else, Billy, you sounded dead sexy. I gotta tell you.
At least you got something out of it.
Oh my God. I wanted to take my pants off. Holy crap. It
Well,
was that sexy.
since you said that, you and I, we can get something going later on.
What was
God, there
wrong
was
with the
no
show?
energy. It was just monotone the entire time.
Oh, come on. No.
And then
it
you
wasn't.
fucking end with music talk?
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't that the best part?
Christ almighty. No. I
God.
want to take you on my journey tonight.
Okay. You're back in the driver's seat.
And it feels good. It
Take
feels
us
so
back-
good.
Take us on your journey.
I yeah.
Fucking Corey corporate douche.
Wanted to prove to you I listened. So I finished my scouting of Salt Lake City last week, and I gotta tell you, that fucking city is awesome, and it's ripe for anything sports related. All they got is the Jazz and a couple of minor league teams, and that's all they got.
Jazz hands.
However, what's that? Jazz hands.
Are the Grizzlies still a thing? Wasn't there a Utah Grizzlies at some
You're
point?
thinking Grizz?
No.
No.
Maybe it was a minor league hockey team.
Or
Yeah.
are you talking about?
No, minor league
Basketball.
hockey. No, minor league hockey. I thought they had a.
You could be 100% on the money with that, but I mean, Salt Lake.
Let's put a cork in that and let's come back to it later, okay?
Yeah, that's fine. But what an awesome downtown area. A lot of homeless people. Gee, do homeless people understand that they shouldn't be in cold weather cities?
No, they don't grasp that.
I don't understand why they stay there. Why? Why wouldn't you walk to San Diego? Walk to Fort Lauderdale.
From Utah?
Sure.
Yeah,
I think it's a far walk.
There could be long.
What else they got to do?
Expanses of nothingness where they really don't have any means to. Yeah.
To what?
Well, that's why they hang around the bus
panhandle
station
for
sometimes
food?
and ask for money, and then if some of them get out of there.
Great, get a bus ticket to somewhere else. But I was chilly. I got to tell you, it was.
So you think because they have a significant homeless population,
they
they're
deserve
ripe. They're ripe for an NHL team.
Right
Okay.
for an NHL team, 100%.
Measuring stick. I mean, there's got to be something.
Listen, coming from a very flat state in Florida, it's amazing. It was beautiful. It was nothing but mountains surrounding you. It was awesome. We got an opportunity to go up to Park City, which was only about a 25-minute drive. We went up there for dinner one night, and that was even more amazing. So yeah, I'm backing Salt Lake City for an NHL franchise, whether it be the Coyotes or an expansion team. I'm all in. I'm all in.
That decision is above my pay grade.
Well, I think it's above all of our pay grades. But,
I think we're going to send them the Rangers.
Probably not the Rangers. Probably not.
Okay, Larry, literal things. Why don't you guys take this discussion offline? All right.
Yeah, we will do that. But boy, oh boy, do we have a playoff race heating up? Holy! And Billy thought the Penguins were out of it.
Nick, yeah, you little.
Oh yeah, I was crazy.
You fuck stick.
You hard-headed fuck stick.
You fucking make that fucking bet with me, and all your team has done since that game is just win.
Yeah,
they lost that game.
We all should have saw that coming, shouldn't we have?
Lost that game, forced me to come on here and speak highly of the Devils, who have done nothing but shit the bed since. And it's your team that's been the one that's been playing well.
Well, the key in that Penguins Devils game was that I think the Penguins finally figured out that they can't go to Tristan Jarry anymore. Jarry got fucking lit up for 5 goals in that game and 7 or 8 posts behind him. I mean, he did nothing in that game. And Nedeljkovic has been hot ever since.
Oh my God. So he starts winning games and you learn how to pronounce his name.
Says the name right
now.
Holy shit.
What are you talking about?
Oh my God. You said Nedeljkovic or some shit like that. That's how you started. Well, Pittsburgh has tied the game tonight 2-2 late in the third period in Toronto. So they win. They're back in the wild card. And I don't think listen, it's not just a wild card spot that's up for grabs too. It's third in the Metro.
Third
was
in
up
the
for
Metro.
Grabs.
Right.
And we knew Philly was going to shit the bed. We just didn't think it was going to take this long.
It took a long time, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. They're a disaster. And they could still make the playoffs as much as anybody else. That's the scary part.
Yeah. I was reading, I think they're 2-5-2 since they sat Couturier, their captain. That message did not go well. Did not go well. And they're a game back. They have 78 left. Or sorry, 4 left. They're at 78 games.
4 left.
Yeah. So they're at 4 left.
If they had 78 left, they'd have a better shot.
And then they're currently tied.
They get really tired by the time the playoffs start, though.
They're currently tied with Penguins and Capitals, 83 points. Detroit's got 84, all vying for the last spot. Tampa's already got the other wild card spot locked up, or them or Toronto. It doesn't matter because they are at 93 and 97 points. So they're in the in the Atlantic. They're going to get one of those 2 spots in the first wild card. So basically, the Isles right now 85 points with 5 games to go, have a 2-point lead over those other 4 teams. I mean, Detroit's got 1 point back, and then you still got Jersey and the Sabres at 79 points, which I don't think are possible at this point.
Too much.
I think it's too much to make up. I think they're officially out.
Our wee little fan made a bet with one of his friends right around the turn of the new year that the Devils would overtake the Flyers by the end of the season. Oof. And I got to tell you, if the season lasted maybe 3 or 4 more games, it might have happened.
Well, I don't think it's still possible.
It's still possible. It's still possible. I don't think it's going to happen. But if there was like 4 or 5 more games, it probably would have happened.
So if one of these teams is
not like the other.
Well, I was going to say something and then I stopped myself. I didn't want to sound more of an idiot. But if the Islanders made the playoffs at a -23 goal differential, someone's got to look this up and find out what was the biggest goal differential a team that made the playoffs was.
Spreadsheets, get on it.
Because but what's even worse is if the Caps make it, they're -41. -41.
How much
just goes to show you the quality of teams going for these last 2 spots. I mean, these are not playoff spots that are typically up for grabs by teams that are like this that are chasing them.
No,
I mean, out west they wouldn't have a sniff at the playoffs. Out west, none of these teams, all of these teams would be resigned to the fact that they're going on home.
Yeah, we're really going to have to drill down and figure this out.
What's that?
The link between those statistics, the goals against and making the playoffs.
But it's also odd that Buffalo has a 0 goal differential, literally 0, and they're more than almost 10 points out of a playoff. No, not 10 points. No, they're like 6 points out of a playoff spot. But still,
Buffalo a few months ago had like a string of like mega like blowout wins. I remember us talking about that maybe like even in November or December. I can't even remember how long ago it was, but that kind of skewed that stat for them for the whole season, because they like in 4 games they were like, plus maybe like 25.
yeah, and we talked a little bit about the goal differential. I think we were talking about Ottawa, how they were like the team in the NHL with the least amount of points, and they had like a zero, almost a zero goal differential. They're minus 24 now, by the way. But if it was going on goal differential, Pittsburgh and Detroit would get the last couple of spots, and the Islanders would be out if it were going on that, but it's not.
No, it doesn't. It goes by wins and losses.
It goes by wins and losses.
Points,
and
actually. Points, actually.
Occurred.
All right.
If it went by wins and losses, the Islanders wouldn't be anywhere near the playoffs.
Literally nowhere near the playoffs.
With their 863 points in overtime and shootouts.
That's right. Those points count. By the way, this is a great question, by the way, Steve. So what it looks like if we use from 99 to 2000 season, because you go far enough back, then when the teams were like, when the Cups was like, not as many teams making the playoffs, it was like negative like 30, 40, crazy shit, because there was only so many teams making the playoffs. 2011, 2012, Florida, negative 24.
Wow.
That was the lowest?
That's the lowest.
Look at Sammy's spreadsheets though, how quick he found that information. He just knows how to pivot those tables and get that information.
He just probably put into the Google search what's the lowest goal differential of any playoff team in NHL history. I mean, that's probably what he put in Google.
I don't think so. No. I think I saw him over there
flipping. He's
flipping through stacks of paper just trying to find the right spreadsheet.
He opened up filing cabinet drawers.
Got spreadsheets printed out everywhere.
I could hear his printer running in the background.
It's a dot matrix.
Dot matrix printer.
So 24.
No fucking idea what that is.
Wow.
That would really.
But the Islanders are a weird team to me. They seem like they go through stretches where they crush it and are 4-0, 5-0, and then they go through stretches where they're 1-7.
That's the season in a nutshell. The times when they do win, they've had games, they've looked either dominant for stretches where you're like, they're back. And then there's just those immediate, and I mean, we didn't have too many of these stretches. So like a lot of games won. We had like a lot of like a couple wins, overtime loss, win. We had that point streak for a bit. I forget how many games it was earlier in the season. We had like 14 or 15 games where we just had a point, which was great, but it was so many overtime losses. And then you just have these big dumps of just loss. It's been such a frustrating season. And, I know I can't give Waugh too much of a bad rap here, because it's not like the team was going to change overnight. He's had to really work at it. And I don't know if we're going to see this continue. The team play has been great this last week, but I mean, it will continue is always the question. And every time it's been no. Every single time I've had this come up of, here we go, it's about to happen, and then so this is the week. There's no more weeks left. They're gonna have to win a number of these games to make the playoffs, and then if they get in the playoffs, then it's a whole different story, and it's 7-game series, and who knows? To be honest, I just flabbergasted that both the Isles and Penguins are in contention at this point, because Billy knows we've been shitting on them our teams all season.
They don't deserve it. The 5 teams that are left don't deserve to have a shot, and all of them kind of have a story like the Islanders, like where they looked like they could seize their opportunity at some point, and then they didn't. I mean, I think only the Penguins have really been on the outside looking in the whole time, but they've had plenty of. I've talked about them on the podcast. All these brutal mistakes where they've just shit away points. and a lot of blown leads on top of that. I mean, for their part, they could look at that part of their game and say, wow, if they had just seized those, they'd probably be in the driver's seat to get one of these last spots. So I think all these teams are going through that, and it's going to come down to who sucks the least in the last 4 or 5 games.
So
Sad
Pittsburgh goes to overtime tonight. It's 2-2
and they're
going to
lose in
overtime right now.
as they always do. But they got a point.
Does Pittsburgh pull the goaltender to get the extra point, but
No.
lose
No.
their gain point already? I mean, I don't understand why Minnesota would do such a thing, and they did it twice. It worked once and then backfired them another time. I didn't know that was a thing until this year. But I can't imagine
lose the other point.
Yeah, I can't imagine any one of these teams actually doing that.
It's too,
So if
too
you-
valuable right now.
If you look at the 5
Until the
teams-
last game of the season where you need that
Right.
second point or some shit. Yeah.
I would agree. But of the 5 remaining teams, Detroit has Washington tomorrow night, and then at Pittsburgh, at Toronto, and then a home and home with Montreal to end it. So you can look at those back-to-back games in Montreal saying, okay, they may have an inside shot. Penguins are at Toronto tonight, home against Detroit, Boston, and Nashville. Not entirely an easy stretch. And then they finish at the Islanders.
Yep.
It's gonna be the game.
And I'm gonna make a point at the end of this, and it's kudos to the fucking schedule makers for guessing right this year. The Caps are at Detroit tomorrow, at Buffalo, home against the Lightning, Boston, and then they finish at Philly. Flyers have at Montreal, at the Rangers versus the Devils, and then they finished against Washington. Islanders got Rangers at home, Montreal at home, at the Rangers, at the Devils, and then they finish up with the Penguins.
I can't remember what I was listening to, but I do recall a couple of geniuses talking about how the last handful of games each season should be all within the conference. I don't remember where.
We were
Where did-
texting that. We texted
Where
that
did I
earlier.
hear that?
We texted it.
Where? Oh, okay.
And then I remember, I kind of remember somebody saying that on last week's episode too.
Yeah, I believe it was verbal. I heard somebody saying it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So that was on
Okay.
last week's episode, the one
Yeah.
that no one
Yeah.
listened to. Oh,
Mm,
great.
It's been.
Debatable. I heard it was one of the best episodes we ever did from some
One of the
people.
biggest
You
episodes
had
ever.
But okay.
You had one little voice say that.
Okay. That's all right.
My goodness gracious.
Came
But-
straight from the Lollipop Guild's mouth.
Yeah, there's no easy games in the NHL, and any one of these games can go in any type of direction. To sit here and say that we're gonna tell you exactly which 2 teams are gonna make it to the playoffs and who's gonna finish, you're delusional. All I do know is that there are important games to be played in the next 9 days, and this is what we're here for. This is what we're fucking here for, and playoffs start right now. In fact, they've already started for some teams. So, especially
They're
for
already over for some other teams.
yeah, sadly. But for these 5 teams, the playoffs are right now, and Phil and Pittsburgh is in one of those playoff games right now, 2-2 in overtime. We'll keep you posted as we go.
Wow,
along.
are they still in overtime? That's exciting because I know I'm like 3 minutes behind.
Wait, are you in the second period still in the game?
The national anthem actually just finished on Bill's TV.
There it is.
Oh my God. They even do the national anthem at WrestleMania. It was funny as hell.
They do. They have to.
All I know is, yeah.
Oh, they don't do
And I
it
just
like
saw-
in between at Raw or anything else like that.
No, they do. They probably just don't air it. You know, they're there an hour before.
Wait, I was just there. I was just at Raw.
Really? And did you get there early enough? Like, did you get there before?
Yeah, we were
all
there
of-
early. Yeah, we were there way early.
I would be
can't
shocked
remember.
if they didn't do the national anthem.
I can't remember if they did the national anthem or not.
Somebody text Ryan.
Yeah.
I'll definitely do that. Ready? He's not gonna fucking know.
Why would he?
You'll probably remember
The adult doesn't remember. Why would the child remember?
because it was important to him.
Why?
don't
He wasn't singing it. He was just there, Nick.
If he had to take his hat off,
Well, how do you know he
You
wasn't
remember.
singing it?
Because you would remember that they performed it if he was singing it.
Everybody would remember
I feel
if
like
he sung it. For sure.
I bet you he's got a spectacular singing voice.
He said no.
Really?
Yes.
I'm shocked. I
Know
am
that he
shocked.
remembers, or they didn't sing it.
No, they didn't sing it. I asked him specifically, not do you remember? I said, did they?
Got it.
So, and Toronto wins. Toronto gets the extra point.
Yeah, it's 100%. The Penguins lose every overtime. They never get the second point, and they never even touch the puck. I think Toronto scored a minute 30 into the overtime. The Penguins literally never touch the puck.
Yeah, but they do get to 84 points, and then they do tie the Red Wings for points. But I think the Red Wings have 38 wins.
Game in hand.
Yeah.
Game in hand, and they play Washington tomorrow.
Yeah.
And all the Penguins could really do is hope that game ends in regulation.
Yeah, you don't want any 3-point games or whatever, how many point games that they are out there for sure. All right, Hart finalists. There's been a pretty heated debate on who should win the Hart Trophy this year. First off, who are your finalists?
Really?
Is it Kucherov, McDavid, McKinnon? Right? Or do we all agree on that?
That's
Those three guys.
I don't think it's close.
And the winners Kucherov, and I don't even know what the debate would be. Quite honestly,
he's definitely on the worst.
There's a debate.
Team. He's on the worst of those three teams, and he's carried them, brought them back into the playoffs. They weren't even in the playoffs.
He's something like 50 points ahead of his closest teammate.
Yeah, Panarin's not that far off either. But I don't think he's not having the season. Well, listen, I think he's having maybe equal the season that Kucherov is having. Maybe not point production wise, but I've watched Panarin all year, and it's a shame that he's not going to get any nominations for Hart finalists this year.
Okay, you've watched him all year, and that's how impressed you are.
Yeah.
Now tack on another 21 points on a team that's nowhere near as good, nowhere near as deep,
nowhere near. They've been in the playoff. What do you mean?
No. It's this season. You got to go by this season.
They have 93 points, and they've solidified at least the wild card spot.
But they're not as deep as the Rangers.
They're
definitely not as deep as the Rangers.
They were definitely not there all season. They were definitely out of the playoffs at one point.
Listen, I think Kucherov is winning too. And I don't think, and like you guys, I don't think it's a debate. I don't think it's close. However, Panarin's had such a fucking great year. It's a shame he's not going to get any nominations. It's a shame.
And he could still hit 50. Only 4 away.
He could still break the Rangers' all-time points record too. He's got to have a couple of really good games to end the year. I think he needs 2 4-point games and then 2 more points after that to break the record.
10 points.
Whatever. But I don't know if he'll do any of that. But I can tell you it's what a season. What a season it has been just watching him. So. Is there anybody else that
we should have known that this discussion had to have a Rangers angle?
Oh, of course it had to have a
Rangers
angle. Of course it did.
Of course it did.
Of course it did.
I mean, I guess you could look at Hughes out in Vancouver. I can't remember his first name. Why is it
Quinn?
Not Luke.
Quinn.
I don't know why I was stupid name, but anyway,
I think Quinn, earlier in the season, I think you could make that argument for Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, he's around there, I would say. But there's other guys like Panarin. Obviously, could be in the discussion, the 4-5 range. But I think from the defenseman perspective, I don't know about goalies this year. I don't know if there's anybody that's particularly like in that top tier of players in the whole league this year. But
I brought up this topic. Not to mention Panarin, by the way, but to make mention that somebody said that Charlie Lindgren deserved Hart considerations.
Is that for Washington?
Yes.
Somebody.
There's nobody been more important to his team than Charlie Lindgren. And I don't even think it was a Caps announcer, by the way, who said it. I fucking wish I can find the person who said that. It was
somebody in
the most
the real
ridiculous, asinine statement I've ever heard in my life.
I bet it was the same guy who wrote the article that Brian Rush could replace Jake Gensel as the first line winger for Crosby.
Who said that? I forgot who that was.
Oh, it was somebody in the hockey news. I wouldn't
Yeah.
commit this moron's name to my fucking memory bank.
Ay, ay, ay.
Charlie Lindgren. Yeah, how about that?
Charlie fucking Lindgren.
Yeah, he's
Amazing.
he's been solid.
He
the
has
Caps
been.
wouldn't be there without him, but
100%.
no. but
But
not
no
a chance.
is right.
Not a chance in no.
Listen, Sidney Crosby warrants more votes than Charlie fucking Lindgren.
Agree.
Sorry. All right. Let's take a ride in the Metro. Sponsored by Rich Wholesome Nestle Quick.
Hello, boys and girls. Do you hate the taste of regular milk and need energy? Try Nestle Quick. One sip and you can feel the energy in your muscles. Nestle Quick, now available in chocolate and strawberry.
They say the real men drink pink. Then I'm a real man for sure. But if you like the brown, I still love you for who you are. Because it's time for acceptance of everyone, all preference. We're all quick on the inside anyway. Nestle Quick, it does the trick.
And we are going to start with the pathetic New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. I don't even know why I have to do this. 1 win, 3 losses on the week. I'm not even going to recap them because who gives a shit? The same theme goes through the whole week. You don't play a 60-minute effort, you're not going to win a game unless it's against the Ottawa Senators. Is it possible that this team could be full of players who are good at hockey but not good hockey players? Does that statement make sense?
Give me some examples. Are you talking like Holtz?
Like Jack Hughes is a very skilled hockey player. Jesper Bratt is a very skilled hockey player. Nico Hischier is a very skilled hockey player. Very skilled at hockey, but are they good hockey players? Like, I just don't know if they have all those other intangibles, i.e. winning pucks in the corner, getting involved in scrums, being intimidating in any sense of the way. I mean, I just don't know if this team has any players that are like that.
Wait, these are the same players that you compared to Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves. These are the same players, right?
I didn't compare them. I said I was hoping they develop into.
I'm
so
mixing.
That's what I'm saying. Is that something you can develop? Can they develop into those players?
No.
Well, I would say
you're
you have
either
to be-
you're either
you're
it
either
now
you
or
are or
you're
you're
not
not.
going to be in it.
You either you are or you're not.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. That
I think they
I
could
think
develop
they're
still.
excellent hockey players.
I don't think they're that. Listen, the Isles went through this kind of thing too. We had a whole rebuild in 2008, and it wasn't until like the 2012, 2013 season they started to really, all those players started to come in their own, and everyone got elevated to the roster. And then they were soft, and they didn't have all the things, and it was clearly they kept trying to bring in guys, to round it out,
like a Palat, like the Devils did with Palat.
But it takes time, and these guys have to learn because Hischier and Holtz and Hughes, they're all going to learn. They're going to learn like they have to, in order to win. You can't just be talented.
You just can't be right. You got to do the other things. I mean,
but they're so young, dude. They're so young, dude.
Yeah, but
they'll get there.
I think you got to take a step. You got to take a step back.
At some point, you've got to stop making the same fucking mistakes.
Well, that's on the coach. Listen.
No. Come on.
Seth Green, I don't think is your coach.
Positioning on the crease, you don't stand in between the guy and the puck. You stand behind the guy if you're covering the guy in the crease. You stand between the guy you're covering and the goal.
But these are the learning things that they need to go through. We sat here last year saying, "Are you sure you want to give up people on defense to have Hughes and Nemec, 2 rookies, be inserted in your defense core, and you were all for it.
Nemec wasn't supposed to be in the roster the whole season. He
Well,
only
there
got
was- there was somebody.
he only got thrown in because of Hamilton. But that's what I'm saying. Hughes has been doing the same thing since the beginning of the season to now. So what does it take to learn? It's 78 games into the season. And he's doing the same fucking thing, standing in between the guy and the puck so that the puck gets by him and the guy on the crease has a wide open slam dunk.
Is he 19?
So he can't learn?
No, but I'm sure that's his position, but maybe he's just not physically developed yet to play that style yet that he wants to play.
I can play that style. All you got to do is stand behind the guy, and if the puck's coming, you lift his fucking stick. It's not that fucking hard. That's all I got. I got nothing else.
But is it more personnel decision? Like I'm if I were you, I'd be very interested to see what they get in those draft picks that they got for Toffoli. Because Sharon Govich scored 30 goals this year for a shitty Calgary team. You could have used those 30 goals.
I have a solution. Luke Hughes for Erik Karlsson.
So you're going to get an older guy who does the same fucking thing.
And that's why I wasn't a fan of the Sharon Govich for Toffoli trade.
Yeah.
Because they're the same fucking player. Why did you go get the older guy? Just because he's got to prove why? Give me the younger guy that has a higher ceiling versus the guy that's kind of coming into his free agent years where he's going to demand a higher salary.
Good news for the Devils, you get to wipe the slate clean and
more
rearrange
fucking games
your
and
personnel.
This shit is over. 4 more and this is over.
And focus on the Mets.
Toronto Tuesday, Toronto Thursday, Philly Saturday, Islanders next Monday.
Oh, yeah. You did mention that they play Toronto a lot, right?
Yeah, 3 times in the last 7 games. Yeah, it's just fuck the schedule makers in this case.
All right, that will bring us to your first place in the NHL, New York Rangers.
Going second, though. That's not good.
And yeah, I get that there's only been 2 President's Trophy winners, 08 and 13. I get that. All that means we're fucking overdue for a team to do it. And why not the Rangers? Why not the Rangers, Bill?
Because
I wasn't asking you. I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's how you phrase a question, though. Pretty sure what you said is exactly how you phrase it.
It doesn't matter what you say.
I wasn't supposed to answer. Okay, I got it.
Say less.
They went 3-1 on the week. Only loss coming Monday night to a revamped and hungry Pittsburgh Penguin team who played very, very well. And then they have the Rumble at the Garden number 2 against the Devils on Wednesday night. What was your take on that, Steve? Were you all right with that? You're happy they showed fire? Nothing. Crickets. Frozen? Are you frozen? You haven't moved, and your fan's not on, so I can't tell if you are actually frozen or not.
I'm not.
No. He blinked.
Yeah, he did. But anyway, the Devils lose their Stanley Cup 4-3 on Wednesday night, and the Rangers play their second to last game Friday at Detroit. Beat the Red Wings 4-3, and then they come home and play a pretty bad Canadiens team on Sunday. And they beat them 5-2. So look, the Rangers are just looking to get 5 more points out of the season to clinch the President's Trophy. They have 3 games this week, 2 against the Islanders, 1 home, 1 away. The away game is tomorrow night. Their only visit to whatever it's called. What is it called? I was going to say the Barclays Center.
USB Arena.
USB Arena.
Yep.
Their only visit to USB Arena this year. They have a date with the Philadelphia Flyers. Fuck the Flyers on Thursday evening. And Saturday against the Icelanders. That'll be a 12:30 start time on ABC. Yay. We get fucking McDonough and Ferraro to do the game. Yay. Yippee. Before they close out the regular season during this podcast recording next Monday evening at 7:30 against the 7:30 game. That's weird. At Madison Square Garden. Who's next? Nick, Icelanders.
All right. Icelanders were 4-0 this week. I'm counting Monday. Pretty much like we were talking about earlier, just I kind of was giving up at the beginning of the week, and I had said the Philadelphia game was pivotal. They had to win. They had to win against Philly. I thought it would make a big difference if they win in regulation. Apparently, Flyers have had other, thoughts on that and just don't want to play hockey anymore. After they lost to the Islanders, 4-3 in overtime, and it's been all roses this week. So it was the biggest game of the season, if you consider that thing, because every game's biggest game of the season at a certain point. Varley let in a couple of long shots. The first two goals of the game, both like beyond the circles, just kind of like screen little shots. But he should have got those, but he held in the rest of the game pretty much fine the way he does. Nelson and Horvat both netted their 30th goal of the year. An interesting thing happened in this game. Flyers recent Russian defect, the 6'7" goalie Ivan Fedotov came in the second period. I think the second period, replacing for the other goal. I can't remember the goalie, but he came in. I think it's because he left in 2 goals and like 5 shots or something. They pull this guy in. His first shot he faces is Barzal on a breakaway. Stops him, of course. But dude's a monster. He's 6'7". He just recently got out of Russia and got out of his KHL deal, and they got him over there, and he played pretty well. Isles were able to get the lead and then blew the lead and went to overtime with 3 seconds to go. Typical fucking team. Luckily, Palmieri made a great steal in overtime. We didn't have the puck, and then Palmieri just got one of those, like, just right place, right time, put the puck away, and just was able to get the puck over to Nelson for the game winner. And that was amazing. The next night was the back-to-back against Chicago at home. And this was a first time we had a win all season in the back-to-backs. We were going to this night 6-3 on the year, on our second night of back-to-backs. 9 times we played back-to-back, or nine times is our 10th time in a back-to-back of the season, and the only time we win was when it mattered the most. I don't know what to say. Ridiculous to me. This was a really great. I watched this game from like the entirety, and I was shocked that it shouldn't have been that close. It was basically Isles dominating early on, didn't get a goal, and then of course they get the puck over. Really nice like 2-1 happens with the kid from the first pick overall. What's his name? First overall pick, Chicago Blackhawks. Future
Connor Bedard.
Connor Bedard.
That's the guy.
2-1.
It's a good thing you're a podcaster.
I know, right? Yeah, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm tired. Connor Bedard gets the beautiful little, like, they had a nice little give and go or play, and they created 2-1. And he made a beautiful pass across, and the guy buried it. And it kind of took a lot of the, wind out of the sails for the Isles, because like they were just really playing really well in the first. Nothing happened until the third period. Isles got a goal back. Another one of those Barzal from Horvat from Barzal plays. Man, that guy just can dish it to Horvat. Awesome pass he made. If you get a chance to see that pass he made, backhander in that game, yeah, just lifted it over nearly behind the net over to Horvat, over the goalie's stick, and just it was perfect. Horvat buried it, tied the game up. Then we got a lucky break on a weird bounce off the boards. Isles capitalized. They were able to score, get a 2-1 lead, and then basically Sorokin closed the game out, and that was the first time we win back-to-back games all year. Unbelievable. Thursday night against at Columbus, another Barzal, the Horvat goal. It was Horvat's third in a row in 3 games. that combination of Barzal to Horvat. It's like the same pass to shot, same backhand to pass to forehand. It's fucking great to see. Oh shit. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Other notable things here, there's a ridiculous bank shot off of Sorokin's head. I don't know if you guys saw this goal. Guy from Columbus was behind the net, literally like.
Yeah, it's Marchenko. He's a good player.
He fucking the amount of there's no spot to miss. It was like the narrowest spot. Like Sorokin had the perfect position, and he just got in that one little tiny spot. He just banked off his helmet and went in. It was unreal. I watched that goal I don't know how many times. I'm like, that it doesn't make sense from all like watching different angles. Like, there's no way it should ever happened. Unbelievable shot. Isles were able to finally get a lead with Dobson, finally getting a goal after he's had a bit of a lull in points, and he's finally getting that goal was big for him. It ended up being the game winner. Palm's got the empty netter, just like our second of the year, I think. Empty netters. And then Nashville on Saturday at home, and it was a tough game, really, really close. Varley was the star, 42 save shutout. Palmieri, it was actually kind of weird because Dobson had the game winner in this game as well, and Palmieri had the empty netter to end the game. Just kind of like weird deja vu, but hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. Anything will work. Will work. Defense has been kind of the big difference here. I think it's been tighter. They've been winning games because of that. I mean, that's been the biggest problem for the Isles all year. Has been just the defense has this parts of it has been very good. Dobson and brain's not gonna work tonight. Anyway, defense been good.
Do you know anybody's name in the NHL tonight?
I don't know anybody's NHL, man.
Can't wait for money talks.
I don't know, man. It's not gonna be a long episode tonight, boys.
Oh no, it is.
Freddie is,
but not because of you this time.
Romanov has been really good. Same with Dobson, but like the pieces have been just not all together. They've been good by themselves, but together everyone's been shit. And so finally, it's been clicking again, and hopefully it keeps clicking. Obviously, at the end of the week, we're in the sixth spot. Pens are now down a point. Wings are down a point. 5 games to go. Next week is Rangers twice, Montreal, Devils.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like if they don't do it next week, they're not going to do it at all, right?
That's it. And then we end the season on Pittsburgh, which is likely going to be for one of those two teams to make the playoffs. It just seems like that's just the destiny of these two teams. One will probably make it in overtime loss.
They should do that in a cage match.
Who knows?
Just make a big production of the cage coming down around the rink.
Something like that.
It's actually that's what they're going to do with the next Ranger Devil game. Actually, the one in the preseason is just going to be their ice is going to be red.
That's right.
That's it for the Isles.
Billy, Penguins.
Penguins. All right. Well, I sure have spent the last couple of months not expecting to have to revisit the Penguins' playoff chances in the final weeks here. But yeah,
you're thick-headed. You're thick-headed. That's why.
I'm not at all thick-headed. There's no possible way.
Girthy-headed, I think is what he's
girthy-headed. We could say girthy-headed.
And had any reasonable expectation that they would ever challenge for a playoff spot. But here we are, and they're kind of on the cusp. It's because like the Islanders, it's because the Penguins suddenly learned how to play defense. And so now because of that, they've got points in 9 games in a row, which is a stretch unlike they've had at any time this season. So it comes right at the exact right time.
Who is their defenseman that has played, I think,
Eric
like
Carlson.
the last 10 games, the St. Georgie or something like that, or some defenseman that they called up from the minors.
St. Ivy
yeah,
or something like that.
Whatever that fucking guy's name is. Is there any correlation to him coming and playing in the league or playing with the Penguins this year? Any correlation to it, or is it just coincidence?
Just let me get to
go.
No, because what I was gonna say about the Penguins defense is a lot of it has been addition by subtraction of number 1 Tristan Jarry, who was I mean, just fucking dreadful since the trade deadline for whatever reason. And again, I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if he just quit on the team, but he's sitting there as the backup goalie every night. So I don't understand. I don't understand what happened there because he wasn't having that bad of a year. But Nedeljkovic,
Oh, Jesus Christ. He says his name fucking right in the beginning of the podcast and he gets to his section and he can't say it.
I just like to wind you up, Tom. He's been great. He's been great. And he's making a what do you call it? He's going to get a big contract this offseason is what I'm saying. Big for him, he signed in on a 1-year deal with the Penguins for a few million and somebody's going to want to snap him up, probably including the Penguins this offseason. So we'll see there, but he's been playing really well down the stretch, handling all the games, getting every start, and getting them some points along the way. And the second addition by subtraction is Ryan Graves, who was, I mean, he's a fucking pylon out there. I mean, I remember watching him last year with the Devils, thinking, my God, that guy's a fucking pylon, and wondering why the Penguins got him. But the experts said, well, he was a good defenseman. He's was not in a good situation with Jersey. I heard the exact same thing said about the Penguins. Now I've said, well, he's a good defenseman, but he's maybe not right for his role in Pittsburgh. If you're a fucking good NHL defenseman, I'm sorry, what fucking team do you need to play for? The fucking Avalanche? Is that the only team you can fucking play for? Is that where we're going with this?
Ironically enough, that's exactly where he played and earned all of his high praise.
He was really good there.
Ironically enough, I actually think that's the point I was going for.
I didn't get that. Did you get that? Did you get that implication?
I didn't get that.
No,
that didn't come out in your delivery.
So yeah, the Graves stinks, but he's not playing anymore. So good for the Penguins that they've kind of ridden that as well. And then on the positive side, Michael Bunting coming in, really woke up that second line. He's been playing with Malkin. Those two have been killing it together. And even Raquel doesn't look like shit playing on the right side with the two of them. And then O'Connor's been filling in on that left wing where Gensel vacated, and been doing well too. So now they've got two lines that are a threat, which they need, because I'm going to tell you the few things that the Penguins have been doing awfully bad all season, and it has not changed in the stretch. Their power play still stinks. Their special teams still stink. They've gone on this run without the benefit of gaining anything from their special teams. And number two, obviously that what I touched on earlier, they don't get the second point in overtime. They do not ever get the additional point when they're in there. I think they've got 5 OT wins / shootout victories on the season against 12 losses now. So getting a few of those points would have been key. But that doesn't happen. And when I say the special teams are bad, I mean they are -16 for the season if you total everything up on the power play and the penalty kill and all that kind of good stuff. Their power play is only a +25 on its own. They've given up a shorthanded goal for every 3 power play goals they've scored this season. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how bad that is. And where I'm kind of going with all this is just say the Penguins somehow stupidly make the playoffs. I mean, you can't win in the playoffs with special teams like that. They will be out so fucking fast. It would likely be a sweep at the hands of whoever they play. If they slip in at 7 against the Bruins or 8 against the Rangers, I mean, they
wouldn't be 7. I don't think they would be 7.
So that's where we are at with the Penguins. The fact that they've got a couple of, maybe exciting games coming. I really think that the upcoming game, their next game against Detroit, is going to be make or break. I think it's all but irrelevant the last 3 games, especially when they have Boston coming right after Detroit. If they don't beat Detroit this coming Thursday, I don't think we're setting up that big Penguins Islanders showdown to end the season. I don't think that's going to happen at all. And in fact, I'm just going to go out on a limb right now and say I am so sure that the Penguins are not making the playoffs. I'm still sure. I've said it all season, and I'm going to guarantee it. I'm going to guarantee that the Penguins do not make the playoffs. If the Penguins make the playoffs, I'm going to quit podcasting. You heard it here.
No.
Oh yeah.
No, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed.
No.
You got to think of something
else. It's 100%.
No, you have to do
No,
something.
that's my level of commitment. If Chris Russo could fucking do it, I'm going to do it too.
Whoa. Bill, can I just ask you a question?
Chris Mad Dog Russo?
Chris Mad Dog Russo.
What do you think it is about Jari that he's just not playing as well this year?
I wish I knew. Just the timing of it, that it just seems like he quit. It just seems like, when they got to the trade deadline and the team gave up, on Gensel and kind of a lot of guys on the team were not putting their best foot forward. It just seems like he was done. But I just kind of wish that I knew if there was something physically wrong with him or something, but they're not going to disclose that. I don't know. Who knows?
All right. Well, that's going to take us to trivia with Bill.
Oh, is this the last one?
Bittersweet, isn't it?
Oh,
I saved it for you
man.
guys. I saved it. I didn't go through trivia last week because I wanted to share the last trivia question with everybody.
And we do appreciate that. But don't you think the easiest solution for this whole finding another segment is just to buy another trivia book?
I don't think so, because I feel like it's run its course. I do kind of feel like after 4 seasons, this fucking trivia question has run its course. Which isn't to say we don't have a wonderful trivia question tonight. So who was the first NHL player with more than 50 goals in a season?
What do we think this means?
It means stop.
How many? What was the question? How many people? How many goals?
It means you should just say what the fuck, whatever you mean, whatever you're trying to.
Well, he didn't finish there it is. He didn't finish his intro.
Now this is the wrong Bill.
Can you repeat the question now?
Who was the
Yes,
first
can you
NHL
please
player
repeat the
with
question,
more than
Bill?
50 goals in a season?
Numbnut stepped all over you.
Who was
I'm
the first
sorry, I
NHL
didn't mean to
player
do
with more
that.
than
Sorry,
50 goals
Bill.
in a season?
This is the first NHL player with more than 50 goals in a season?
That's what the
If
question
you could
said,
just
right?
Okay,
repeat
good.
the question.
I thought we
Repeat
did
the
this
question?
one before. Am I crazy?
Yes.
maybe I miscalculated. Maybe we did.
Sounds familiar.
Because I had to go to the middle of the, because I had to follow episode to the numbers, and I had to go to the middle of the book and go back around to the beginning
Ooh.
when we got to the hundreds. So who knows? I'm sure we
I'm
did the
gonna
next one. That's why.
say, because I probably said it when we had it the first time. I'm gonna say Alexander Semek.
Oh,
That is not correct whatsoever. No.
Alexander Daig.
I'm not sure why you're going on the Alexander thing, but
We're going alphabetical
it's actually
order.
not,
We're just
not
gonna-
anybody
we're
named
We're gonna go
Alexander.
alphabetical order. Through the entire.
Zarli Zalapsky.
Oh, we're going backwards from
Backwards,
okay.
reverse it.
Not Zarli Zalapsky, who was a defenseman. I think we would have remembered that.
Is it Valerie, the Red Rocket?
Bertinelli?
Bureau?
No. No, not Valerie Bure either.
Red Rocket. So we got the first one.
The first NHL player with more than 50 goals in the season.
More than 50 in a season.
More than 50.
More than 50.
More than 50.
Right. Tony Esposito.
The goaltender, that would be a record for sure. No,
Henrik
that's incorrect.
Lundqvist.
No, not Henrik Lundqvist.
Igor Shesterkin.
I really don't know that we really should be guessing goaltenders.
Really?
For this question.
Lindros.
No, not any of the Lindrosses. Not Eric. Not Brett. Not
Tom Pody.
Not
What a C word.
Bird.
Tom Bodie.
Bruce Driver.
I could give you. I'm just going to throw this hint out there that it was a forward.
Uh,
It
was he
not Bruce
Canadian?
Driver.
Was he Canadian?
I believe so. Yes. Although his son's American.
Was he associated with one of the 4 teams?
One of what? Oh no.
One of our 4 teams.
We haven't done that in ages. What are you talking about? No. No.
Was he an all-star?
Yes.
Was he a centre? Centre?
It's the center of attention. Sure. No. I don't believe that he was. No.
Brett Hull.
Dick Tracy.
Oh, not Brett Hull. Not Dick Tracy. No.
Why was I close?
You were close.
Brett Lemieux.
I don't think that's a thing. No.
This is
Brett
illegitimate
Lindgren.
brother.
Jocelyn Lemieux was the other Lemieux.
Ah. Brett.
Marek Malik?
No. Back to defenseman, even though I gave the hint that it's a forward. Yeah, it's
Brett
a good guess,
Berard.
though.
Brett Berard.
It's Brian Berard that lost the eye. I don't know why you're covering your eye.
It started with a B.
You dummy. Gordy Howe?
Gordy, shut your face.
Wow, you guys, look
It
at
was
you
not either of those Gordys.
in stereo.
Was it Gordy LeChance?
No.
Phil Esposito.
He's on the multiple choice list, but no, he was C on the multiple choices. Do you want to hear the other multiple choices?
Was
No,
it
not yet.
Barry Esposito?
Oh,
Not Barry Esposito. No.
Maurice Richard.
Oh, he's another one on the list, but no.
Wow, how many? So we've gotten 2 from the multiple choice so far.
Yeah.
Oof. And Gordy Howe wasn't he?
Well, and the other 2 that are on the list, one of them is the actual answer, and then one of them was just a fucking janitor, and I don't know what the hell he's doing on here.
Guy Lafleur. Guy Lafleur?
Guy Lafleur the janitor. No, it was not Guy Lafleur. So we've now named everybody on the list except our guy.
Jody Hull.
This is no, not Jody Hull.
Taylor Hall.
When somebody gets this, it's the end of the segment forever.
Oh, man.
Forever.
Bobby Hull.
Bobby Hull is correct.
I gotta have some victory in my.
Yeah,
man.
I appreciate you guys giving that to me.
Goodbye, trivia.
So I guess we have to have some show prep meetings for next week. What's going to actually replace this segment?
He's not gonna. He wants to do something with his labia.
Chlamydia with Bill, I do like, or whatever it was last week. And all your suggestions have been really, really good.
Libya with Bill, chlamydia with Bill. I'm still considering all of them.
As well you should. As well you should.
I don't know how any of those would play as on the podcast.
How about at least we start off with, it doesn't have to be this is your segment, but maybe it's for the remainder of the season. It's just give us a bio on a porn star.
Ooh.
I don't think of another segment that would be more perfect for you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't deal with that smut.
No.
I also don't know how much more of a bio do you need. She went to William Taft Elementary School. It was
I wasn't talking about any of that.
I was
talking about what movie she's
touched
been
by her
in.
science professor, which got her into
like she did her first anal scene at age 19.
9.
Teen,
right. So. Everything that makes it sexy if you say teen.
Man.
Okay.
All right. Money Talks with Nick.
Go.
Money. It's a gas. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash. New plug, give a fuck, G and daydream. Think I'll buy me a hockey team.
And go. All right. So this is gonna be a short segment today.
I don't see you sharing any spreadsheets.
I'm not sure.
Promise fucking spreadsheets.
I didn't promise it this week.
I
didn't have a
set the bar real high. Just say that.
Yeah, this wasn't a week where you had
All right, Tom, would you shut up and let him get on with the fucking segment? This is why the show is an hour and 45 minutes.
This week we had a really interesting record be tied by one Sidney Crosby. And that record is the most points per game seasons. He's tied Wayne Gretzky for 19. Not only has he done 19, but he's done it consecutively. Every season in the NHL, he's been here. He's had a point per game season. Even this season where he was hurt and played only short number of games, even then he was point per game. And I was shocked that this was something that was a record that a player today could actually beat or break a record of Gretzky's. It doesn't seem like it's impossible to beat, but it is like some of those records out there, like the point totals, assists, those are things that will never
92
be
goals
touched.
in a season.
Yeah, those things are just untouchable unless something drastic changes in the NHL. But this is something that it's something that's not really a normally repeated stat, like how many times it happened in your career.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to like look up. But I did find a list, and I found it really interesting to see who was on this list. It's the usual guys: Crosby and Gretzky now 19H, Gordie Howe 17, Evgeny Malkin, Lemieux, Messier, Marcel Dion, Joe Sakic, Ron Francis, all 15 point per game seasons. Pretty good company.
Evgeny Malkin's on that list?
Evgeny's on that list. I mean, year after year, not every year, but
he stayed healthy for a lot of seasons.
Yeah.
He's incredible. It's pretty incredible. And looking at that, I was looking at some other kind of like weird, like not weird stats, but just interesting things around the number of, like milestones that happen in a season. So one of them was the couple things, the 60 goal seasons mark. That has only been hit. I mean, it happens, right? It's actually not as common as you kind of think about it. And I think we did talk about it recently in a couple times ago that there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players in all of the NHL that have done it twice, at least twice. And Austin Matthews was on that list, which is why we talked about him. But Ivo Ovechkin never did it. Stamkos did it once. Pasternak's done it once. McDavid's done it once. But only Matthews is the only guy that's done it twice in recently. But if you look around, it's Bossy and Gretzky both have done it 5 times, and obviously they were in that time of the NHL. Goal scoring was they were just the best too. Esposito and Lemieux had 4 each. Brett, the great Brett Hall, great Pavel Bure had 2. Brett Hall had 3. Sorry, Bure had 2. Yzerman had 2. Yari Curry had 2, and I just thought that was really interesting. Number, kind of stat. But the other big one, which I realized could also be broken, another Gretzky record, number of 100-point seasons. Gretzky has 15, tops ever happening. Lemieux's at 10. He's number 2, 10 times. From there, though, it's Marcel Dion 8, Peter Stastny 7, pretty amazing. I didn't even think about Peter Stastny. Mike Bossy was 7. By the way, 7 out of 10 seasons. He did it. That's pretty amazing. But the next guy, Connor McDavid, 7 times in his first 9 seasons in the NHL.
This will be 8, right?
This will be 8. Yeah. He's gonna. I think so. I don't think this is counting his current season. But anyway, he's a guy that could do it. He could actually very likely get 100 points for the next bunch of seasons and get there and actually break a crazy record of Gretzky's. And by the way, you'll definitely catch Lemieux. I mean, it's pretty nuts. Even Crosby's done it 6 times. I don't think he'll break it any more than that, but it's just one of those really interesting things. Like, I never thought that something like this would have been out there, but you see it, you're like, yeah, of course Gretzky owns that record because he had all these seasons where he was so dominant. But it just goes to show you that, these Crosby and McDavid are just easily the generational players, and they're, as we talked about recently, the statistical anomalies that these guys are pretty nuts.
They are different generations, so that works.
It works.
So Gretzky has 40 regular season records. Do you think the points in a career is the most unbreakable? What's the most unbreakable Gretzky record?
92 goals.
I think
I don't know. Right. I think somebody can do that.
No
I
way.
think
points
somebody
in a season, points for a career. I mean,
yeah, points in a career.
Unless something drastically changes, they're all untouchable.
Right. He had more assists than anyone ever had points.
That's crazy. I mean, if you think about that, it's asinine. But I think if the NHL slowly changed, maybe a player like McDavid or Crosby comes around and scoring goes up, potentially they could do over a career.
Like, we're blown away by
Jeff Skinner. Jeff Skinner could play long enough.
We're blown away by McDavid, right? on how good he is and how amazing he is. Gretzky was twice as good as that in the era.
In the
He was
era.
pretty good.
What do you
in the era?
Remember the era he played in.
Yes.
So I mean, obviously, you got to talk about changes that would have to be made. You got to make the nets bigger if any of those records are ever even going to be close to being broken.
I think you'll see the goalie equipment get smaller before you get the nets bigger.
The goalies won't allow the equipment.
I think the NHLPA is so against the nets getting bigger.
The
And as much as I agree,
allow the equipment to get smaller for safety purposes.
Every statistic would have an asterisk on it if the nets got bigger. It sucks.
So it's still, again, if you compare the size of the goalies in the 80s, and the size of the goalies now, there's just a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a room.
Yeah, but look at the sticks are so much fucking better now than those wood sticks that they used back then.
Al McInnes was still getting it up over 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I get it, but not everybody was.
Oh.
So you said that Gretzky was 2 times as good as McDavid, right? Or points wise or something?
Sure.
Gretzky holds the top spot in points per game, 1.92 of his career. Lemieux, 1.88, shortened career, obviously. McDavid is number 3, 1.52.
So he's still half a point behind.
Half a point
behind Gretzky.
Half a point. But Gretzky played almost 1,500 games, so that's a pretty good career.
Yeah.
Not the longest, but still, that's over that many games. It's pretty nuts.
What year did Gretzky score more than 200 points?
He did twice. I think it was 82 and 83, or 81 and 82. So early 80s.
He did it in 85. No, he did it 4 times.
Yeah.
85, 86, 81, 82, 84, 85, and 83, 84. So 83, 84, 84, 85, 85, 86.
What year was he born? Do you have that anywhere? I just want to get an idea of how old he was in comparison to how old, Bedard's only what, 20, 25? I mean, McDavid's only
60.
what, 25?
Yeah, something like that. He was born 1960.
Is he
60 or 61?
Well, he was right around that same. So 24, 25.
So
I only have his personal information. Oh, I don't have.
He was in his early 20s. The
1961.
January.
So already beyond how old McDavid is.
25 was when he scored 215, and he scored all of his 200-point seasons from 21 to 25, effectively.
21, yeah. So already he was younger than McDavid is now.
Yeah. So like his career, a very good player's career, basically happened in 5 years of his career, because from 81 to 82 to 85, 86, he scored on average higher than 200 points. The only year he didn't hit it was he had 196 in 80 games in 82, 83.
Couldn't put in the extra effort, Wayne?
In 84, 85, he was a plus 100.
Yeah. Just gets the puck and scores every time.
The year he only had 196 points, he had 71 goals and 125 assists.
Wimp.
What's interesting about that 100-point,
he played 80 games. No.
80-45, he was 100 plus 100, but he only had 8 power play goals. He had 54 even strength, 11 shorthanded goals. I think the shorthanded goal thing probably is a record. He's got to have some crazy record there. Maybe I'm wrong.
84, 85 in the playoffs. In 18 games, he had 47 points.
Crazy.
Yep.
He owns the shorthanded goal record, 73 for a career.
Wait until people hear this podcast and realize how good Wayne Gretzky was.
We are breaking.
Think anybody knew?
We're breaking it. We're breaking it down. People like, you never heard it before. Wayne Gretzky. Good at hockey.
All right, let's go.
Pretty good hockey player.
Oh, that feels better.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, which I am a drinker now.
What?
Exclusively.
Ooh.
Yes.
I had some today too.
Got to get those numbers down. Can't drink regular soda anymore.
Were you
Please
drinking
go.
regular soda?
Oh, I was, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I don't like for dinner. I would have a regular soda,
Interesting.
but not anymore.
Round here, we're saving calories. Round here, we all look so lean. Round here, we enjoy Coke Zero, but sacrifice flavor, no. Round here, Coke Zero's the way to go.
Please go to August 21st
And
of the
everything
year of our
after.
Lord 2017.
August 21st, 2017 was a Monday. I know why you picked this.
You
I know
do?
why you picked this.
Why?
Well, first, let me give you what I got. Breakfast was a 20-ounce Coca-Cola Zero Sugar and a tasty cake.
Ooh.
Lunch was a grilled chicken sandwich with fresh mozzarella and roasted red peppers.
Delicious.
Oh, I like those.
Diet soda, 20 ounce, and a bag of chips. Dinner was my specialty chicken cordon bleu pasta with Coke Zero can. And Tom, is this why you picked August 21st?
Oh, well, that was the day, obviously, where we learned that there were 7 epic sex positions to try during a solar eclipse. If you couldn't get protective glasses in time. Right. So with everybody freaking out about the 2017 solar eclipse, I really think we should be focusing on the important questions, not how do I see or how do I keep my eyeballs from exploding? Whack, whack. I mean, the real question is, and has always been, how does this affect my sex life? Because basically the solar eclipse is a huge event. And so you wouldn't want to punctuate that with anything but getting frisky. Oh boy, this article sucks.
It's a huge, huge event. It's a huge event.
Huge event.
Huge event. I also read something today that the eclipse is supposed to make you hornier. So if you're feeling a little randy, that's why.
Ooh.
Wow. That's
I
incredible
know.
because like when
Let's
I was
not
driving
bring-
by the middle school today, I was like, man, I'm just
Let's
that's
not
just
bring
happened to be
that
where I
name
was.
up either. Let's not bring that name up either.
Ooh, Randy?
Yeah, let's not bring that up.
Why? What's the matter with
Nobody
Randy?
wants to talk to him.
Okay. Did I miss a meeting? Did I miss somebody named Randy?
Oh,
Mm.
someone seems pretty
Somebody
upset
forget
about
so
it.
soon.
Yeah, how long have you
Because
been
he
on
hasn't
this
been on this
podcast?
year.
I probably did. Anyway,
What?
and
What?
that's why it's time to decide which sex position you're going to use to mark this monumentous event. Whether the eclipse has you feeling jittery and in need of a calm down, or has you wanting to howl at the damn moon, there's a position for you. Here's what you should try. Number 1, spooning. Spooning. Right. It tells you how to do it,
You
too.
don't. Yeah, we get it.
Lay in the
Yeah,
famous
I think-
tunnel
We got
I think
it.
we know.
We
and
got
get
it.
ready for some entry from behind.
We got it.
to
We know.
get to the G spot.
Yep, we got it.
This one
Oh,
is
this is like a
called.
Cosmo article. Okay.
This one's called.
It cares about the woman.
He froze. now.
Tom freeze.
Oh, he froze.
Oh, he froze.
Or he's.
We're all
That's Tom's
Well,
O face right there.
also lucky. That worked pretty well for
A
us.
sofa. It said my internet connection was unstable. Damn it.
Yeah, we didn't hear you after spooning.
The number 2 is sofa
he's
brace.
Catching up.
The sofa
Sofa-
brace. Right. Lean over the edge of your sofa and rest your chest and or your stomach on the arm. You can play around with different heights as your partner enters you from behind.
Who's got an adjustable height sofa?
Well, you can adjust leaning over the arm of the sofa.
Don't lean over me.
Right. Woman on top. They actually says how to do this.
Oh,
Let the woman be
no,
on
you
top.
don't have to say it.
Jesus Christ. In a chair. Let your partner sit down in a chair, then straddle them lower and then straddle them lower down. I don't even think that's English. The number 5 position is the lotus position. When your partner sits cross-legged, sit in their lap and wrap your legs and arms around them. It may take a while and a little lube, waka waka, to get the position right. But then you can just rock and enjoy with deep penetration. Number 6 is the splitter. How to do this? You can start from the missionary position.
You hit her in the face with a baseball.
It's actually 2 fingers split.
Right.
Clemens used to throw it all the time. With your partner kneeling, then slowly lift one leg up onto their chest, extending it if you can, while they enter you. Make sure you listen to your flexibility. And lastly is the reversed cowgirl. So those are the 7 ways that you can do the sex with the Eclipse.
Time's a creep. Time is a weirdo. Where does he come up with the shit? It's so disgusting.
And when's the next Eclipse going to be for all this to
2078?
2078? Oh, we might break a hip. Be 101.
I'll be 103.
Definitely break a hip. Oh, yeah.
Where was this article published?
It's called The Bustle.
In the Journal of Go Fuck Yourself? This is awful. How would you?
It's called The Bustle. A story by 3 names chick, obviously.
There you go.
Lee Rose Emery.
Harvey Oswald, we get it. And how did you come across this article?
Oh, I did a Google search for
the last solar
eclipse, and this is what I got. I was looking for some sort of crazy sex story, but
no, you found
this is what I got. We can go back to fast food stories if you want.
Randy Travis the turd. You don't remember?
Randy Travis.
You fucking idiot.
It's been so long.
We don't need it.
You know what? That's it.
Nope, we don't
Next
need
week,
it.
Randy is coming on the episode. I gotta send him.
We're good.
I gotta send some smoke signals to get him ready.
Beetlejuice. We don't need him.
Randy Travis the turd. Randy next week. Wrote that down. So my wife got a cricket machine.
Nick, you should really join us during that interview. I'm sure you would like to talk to him.
So she's putting numbers on.
I'll be there.
Steve you might have given you a shirt in the past, or he designed a shirt that had something similar like this. But instead of bugging him for more, I'm just having my wife print out vinyl so she can throw on shirts.
Can I make just a recommendation?
Please.
The circle.
The circle, yes.
Just a little thinner.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't
mind it, but on a t-shirt, it might look too bulky. On a sweatshirt, it looks fine, but maybe on a t-shirt, it'll just look too heavy.
Found a couple t-shirts. They're coming in the Amazon package
I finally found out you could buy t-shirts. Wow, look at this.
Oh, good. No. He needs very specific t-shirts, I remember.
Right.
Tri-blend.
They got to be tri-blend.
Yeah. You can't have 100% cotton in Florida.
No, not in Florida. God forbid.
Oh, boy.
You've been down here. You know how fucking hot it is.
You need to have tribal.
Need to have what?
Tribal. Tri-blend. Tribal?
Tri-blend.
Tribal.
Tribal. We're doing tribal shirts now. That's it.
Tribal.
Is this over yet?
We're in a lot of tribal right now.
We're in a lot of tribal right now? I don't think so. Hey, congratulations to Artemi Panarin, number 3 star of the week. Sidney Crosby, number 2 star of the week. Good job, guys.
Number 2.
Can I ask you guys a question? Who does number 2 work for?
That was good. I like that. That was funny. That was good. All right, that's going to do it for us this week. Don't forget to go on the Twix at friends_rivals. Be so nice and give us a like or even a follow, if you will. Go on to Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of the Friends and Rivals podcast. Billy, say something witty.
Okay, my last idea to replace trivia with Bill, and I'm not gonna do some stupid rhyme this time. It's not a stupid rhyme. This is real. This is real, but I'll be quick. There was a Greek mathematician, Euclid, who's known to be the father of geometry. And I am fascinated the way that there's geometry in hockey, like the way you angle things off the boards, the way you take the right angle to try to play defense, make sure the guy doesn't get behind you. So I think I could turn this into a segment called Here's Looking at Euclid.
My friends and rivals. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off. Flyers fuck, flyers fuck, flyers fuck off.
That's about right.
You lost one.
That's about right. I'm going to say I think I liked your chlamydia idea better. I got to be honest with you. So if the Devils are the only team to miss the playoffs, how do we torture Steve?
He's gonna listen to all this anyway. We're not talking about.
Don't give a shit. I want him to know.
This is meticulously.
I want him to know which play we're running.
Early. When he leaves early, he wants to know everything we say after the fact.
No, I do know that. But we got to think of a way to torment him for as long as humanly possible.
Well, let's maybe hold off on those ideas until we see our two teams make it.
I said if. I did say if.
We should make him write a poem or like a poem about about his team or our teams.
Make him write a poem. Poor guy. Can he write a poem?
Just make him keep covering the Devils as the playoffs go on.
I think he could. He do it? I could swear he did one for Christmas or something. Didn't he do something for Christmas a couple years ago? Here you go.
I think he did. No, it was this year for Christmas, didn't he?
Like a whole,
it's not a poem or two.
Yeah.
It was more of a limerick.
A limerick.
Yeah, exactly. That means
Okay.
It's time to hang up. But definitely Randy Travis III next week. That's definitely
all right.
100%.
Nice.
You ready?
All right. If you need Bill, if you need a week, we can fill him in there, I guess, or whatever.
We'll see. Yeah.
No matter what, Randy Travis III next week.
The turd is coming.
All right, boys. Have a great night.
All right, boys. Bye.